You think retiring in the Caribbean means peace, coconut, and hammocks? Let me stop you right there. Because if you do any of these things, paradise will eat you alive. See, everybody thinks of that tropical finish line. Sunset, rum, sea breeze, no boss calling your name. But nobody tells you that same place you dreamed about on vacation can feel like a totally different planet when you actually live there. So before you sell your house, cash your pension, and move to live the good life, listen closely. Because these are the things you should never do when retiring in the Caribbean. And trust me, some of these will shock you. Because this I'm about to tell you is the difference between living in paradise and getting trapped in it. First mistake, never confuse vacationing in the Caribbean with living in the Caribbean. When you're on vacation, everything feels perfect. Every coconut tastes sweeter. Every wave sounds like music. Every person calls you darling. But when you live there, that same paradise starts testing you. The power goes out mid-shower. The grocery runs out of milk for 3 days. And suddenly, that peaceful silence you love now feels like isolation. The thing is, people confuse vacationing in a place with living there. And that's the truth. Because on vacation, you escape reality. But when you live there, the Caribbean becomes your reality. And reality comes with bills, breakdowns, and bureaucracy that don't care how good your tan looks. But it's not just the daily grind that catches people off guard. It's what happens when the dream starts costing you more than you expect. Second mistake, never ever assume that your money stretches forever. People come to the Caribbean thinking, oh, the cost of living is cheaper. Oh, of course, mangoes might be cheaper, but when you start buying imported peanut butter and air-conditioned peace, that's when you realize paradise has taxes too. There's also the funds and fantasy trap. There's a worldwide campaign about funds buying property all over the world and sugarcoating the dream. And it's true, you'll see influencers and magazines selling the idea like it's a Caribbean miracle. Invest now, retire on the beach. Meanwhile, you're dealing with government paperwork, slow banks, and neighbors telling you come back Monday, every day of the week. And you do come back Monday, but the person handling your farm had to step out for lunch at 10 a.m. That's when you realize something powerful. If you don't have patience, the Caribbean will teach it to you. But even if you master the waiting game, there's still one thing that no one, and I mean no one, can prepare you for. Never underestimate nature. See, the Caribbean gives you peace, but it commands respect. One person in my comments said, I didn't retire in Florida because of the hurricanes. Another said, I lived here for decades and never lost sleep over them. And that's the truth. Two realities, same sky. For one, it's danger. For the other, it's just another Tuesday. But here's the trick. You can't control the weather, but you can control how prepared you are for it. Get a solid house. Build that little concrete fortress. And when the rain comes, don't panic. Because the same storm that shakes your windows, that's the one that waters your fruit trees. You don't move in the Caribbean to escape storms. You move to learn how to stand in them. And once you understand that, that's when the Caribbean stops feeling unpredictable and starts feeling like home. But even if you survive the storms, you can still ruin your peace if you make this next mistake. Never stay an outsider. People move to the Caribbean thinking they'll live in paradise, but end up living in isolation. They stick to expat circles, gated communities, and imported food stores, and they never truly feel the heartbeat of the island. You can't retire in paradise if you're still arguing with time itself. You have to slow down, wave at people, learn how to say morning with the right rhythm. Smile at the shopkeeper, even if the shop's closed for no reason. Because trust me, it's not personal. The sign says closed for lunch, but the owner might be across the street playing dominoes. My friend, you have to learn to live like a local. And that's not just advice. That is survival. Because when you connect, you belong. And when you belong, paradise finally feels like home. But there's one more thing nobody likes to talk about. The thing you can't fix with sunshine or coconuts. Never forget what you left behind. This one's quiet. You won't see it in brochures. But after a few months of calm, start feeling it. silence after everyone flies home. The birthdays you miss, the grandkids you only see through a screen. One person told me they'd love to live in the Caribbean, but their family wouldn't be there. And that's the reality for many. Because the Caribbean gives you beauty, but it can also give you distance. And distance, even when it's wrapped in paradise, still hurts. But if you can make with that kind of silence, if you can build a new kind of family, a community that greets you by name, share mangoes with you, check on you when it rains, then that's when the loneliness turns into gratitude. And that's when you can really see what this life was all about all along. Because here's the truth. The Caribbean isn't perfect. It's noisy. It's hot. Sometimes it's frustrating, but it's also real. And that's what makes it beautiful. People come here looking for heaven, but what they find is humanity. And if you let it, the Caribbean teaches you something that the world forgot. That peace doesn't come from perfection. It comes from presence. So no, don't do it for the Instagram sunsets. Don't do it because somebody online told you it's cheaper or trendy. Do it because your soul is ready to slow down and listen. And when you do that, you stop chasing peace and start living in it. Retirement in the Caribbean isn't about chasing life. It's about learning to live again. So if you're thinking about retiring in the Caribbean, never assume the dream is easy. Never underestimate the storms. Never stay an outsider. And never forget what you left behind. Because paradise won't fix you. But if you respect it, it'll heal you. And maybe that's the real secret nobody told you. Remember, it's not just a destination, it's the journey.